If you buy tomatoes, always freeze some. This delicious treat will help clear clogged arteries. Did you know that frozen tomatoes taste even better than raw? Not only does it extend their shelf life, but even beginners can easily make delicious dishes from frozen tomatoes, so you should definitely give it a try. Surely you have encountered the situation of buying cheap tomatoes at the supermarket, buying a lot and not knowing how to handle them all. Or buying and leaving them there and finally letting them rot. Especially in the summer, just leaving them out for a few days will make you see the tomato skin wrinkled, even cracked and leaking water. So how to preserve tomatoes for a long time while still keeping their fresh flavor? Let's explore with me in the following video. I have created subtitles in multiple languages. Please select your preferred language. Comment below and let me know which country you are watching from. It's amazing that we can connect from all around the world. First, I will guide you how to freeze tomatoes. First, wash the tomatoes with cold water and drain completely. Wash thoroughly to remove all dirt and bacteria from the outside of the tomatoes. After washing, place the tomatoes in a basket to drain. If you have time, you should dry each fruit to avoid too much ice sticking to the outside when freezing. No need to cut or peel, you'll freeze the whole fruit. Place the tomatoes in a zip-top bag, squeeze out all the air, and seal the bag. Where are you from? It's great to know we're connecting from all over the world. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Thanks for your support. If you're using a plastic container, choose one with a tight-fitting lid to prevent the cold air from drying out the skins. Finally, place the bag or container in the freezer. After just a few hours, the tomatoes will be completely frozen and can be stored for up to 4 to 6 months without spoiling. Did you know? Frozen tomatoes are not only easy to preserve, but can also be processed into many delicious dishes, especially helping to clean blood vessels and reduce the risk of arterial blockage. The method is very simple. First, pour water over the frozen tomatoes and let them thaw for about 1 minute. Meanwhile, remove the stems. Once the skin is slightly softened, you can easily peel it. Just make a small incision and peel it off. Even without any special steps, the tomato skin will peel off very easily. After peeling, carefully cut the tomatoes into bite-sized pieces. Put the cut tomatoes into a blender and blend until smooth. If you find it difficult to blend, you can add a little water. When you open the lid, you will see a delicious tomato slushie is completed. It is delicious on its own, but you can also drizzle honey or syrup to enhance the flavor. When I tried it, it was even better than ice cream. The second dish also uses peeled tomatoes. Add 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 to 3 tablespoons of vinegar, and add a little tangerine peel jam to taste. Then mix the spices well. Let the tomatoes absorb all the spices. Next, put the tomatoes on a plate and pour the jam sauce over the tomatoes. Place a chai leaf on top for decoration. After mixing the spices, just leave it in the refrigerator for about 10 minutes. The outside of the tomatoes will melt slightly, soaking up the spices, while the inside will still be slushy-like. So, on hot days like today, this is an extremely refreshing dessert. When I tried it, it was so delicious that it woke me up. Besides the freezing method, I will also share with you some other popular ways to preserve tomatoes. Simple but effective. Method 1. Preserve fresh tomatoes by gluing the stems. If you buy a lot of fresh tomatoes and don't use them right away, try this method to extend their freshness without refrigeration. First, don't wash tomatoes after buying them because water will soften the skin and make them more susceptible to spoilage. Then, place each tomato in a basket or tray, stem side down. For fruits that have lost their stems, you can use a small piece of tape to cover the stem to keep it moist and prevent bacteria from entering. Note: only place one layer, do not overlap to avoid crushing. This way, tomatoes can stay fresh at room temperature for about 10 days. Method 2. Wrap in protective paper. A traditional but effective way to keep tomatoes fresh is to use newspaper or toilet paper. Simply wrap each tomato tightly with a layer of paper, which helps reduce exposure to air, retain natural moisture, and keep the fruit bright red. Then, place the wrapped tomatoes in a paper box. You can sprinkle some edible baking soda on the bottom of the box to absorb moisture. If there are multiple layers, insert a thin piece of cardboard between the layers to avoid them from overlapping. Finally, close the lid of the box and place in a cool, dry place, away from direct sunlight. Stored this way, tomatoes can stay fresh for about 1 month at room temperature. Method 3. Use a zip bag to store in the refrigerator. If you want to keep tomatoes longer while still retaining their flavor, try storing them in the refrigerator in a Ziploc bag. First, prepare a bowl of clean water. Add 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, or a few drops of lemon juice. Soak the tomatoes for about 5 minutes. Then rinse gently. And dry each one thoroughly with a paper towel, especially the bottom. Next, sort the tomatoes into 2 groups: firm, not fully ripe, and soft red ones. Place a piece of paper towel in the bottom of each zip-top bag, then place the tomatoes in each group. Squeeze out all the air from the bag before sealing. Finally, line the bottom of the refrigerator with a dry towel. Place the hard tomato bag at the bottom and the soft bag on top. This method will keep tomatoes fresh for more than a month. If necessary, you can repeat the process to extend the storage time. Method 4. Slice and freeze. First, choose fresh, plump tomatoes that are not bruised. Wash them and dry them gently with a paper towel. Wash the tomatoes thoroughly to remove dirt and bacteria from the skin. After washing with water, gently dry the tomatoes with a paper towel. Thin, even slices, just thick enough to keep them from breaking during freezing. Next, place each tomato slice on a tray lined with parchment paper. Make sure to space each slice slightly apart so they don't stick together when frozen. Place the tray in the freezer for about 2 to 3 hours until the tomatoes are completely frozen. Once the tomatoes are hard, take them out and put them in a Ziploc bag or airtight container. If you don't have a vacuum sealer, follow these steps. Place the sliced tomatoes in a Ziploc bag. Do not seal the bag immediately, but leave about 2 to 3 centimeters of space at the edge of the bag. Prepare a large, clean basin of water, then slowly submerge the tomato bag into the basin. Note: keep the mouth of the bag above the water. When the bag is almost deflated, quickly zip it up, then the air is almost completely removed. This method is very simple but effective. Finally, don't forget to write the packing date on the bag. And put them in the refrigerator to freeze. This way, sliced tomatoes can be used deliciously for 4 to 6 months. Very convenient to cook soup, make sauce, or stew with vegetables anytime you need. So we have just discovered extremely simple but very effective tips for preserving tomatoes. Which tip do you like the most? Don't forget to leave a comment to let us know. If you have any other great tips for preserving tomatoes, feel free to share them in the comments. I'm always happy to learn from you. If you found the video helpful, please like and subscribe to Great Tips so you don't miss out on useful tips like this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.